What's good, music producers, and welcome to Curtis King TV. Today I want to talk to you about my 1 year experience. It's almost 1 year to the day when I started to do live streaming on a regular basis. I want to talk about what got me into it and why I feel like music producers should be looking at this as the main thing that should be in your weaponry when it comes to building up a fan base, a loyal community, as well as helping to improve your skill set. Let's talk about it. I want to welcome you to this channel. If this is your first time watching a video on Curtis King TV, just know we do a lot of content for music producers, but it's a little bit outside the box. Specifically, we like to talk to the mental health of music producers as well as just life advice and things that we come across. We like to have a good time here, but we want to welcome you here first and foremost. Now, I started to get into streaming specifically because I got burnt out doing all the extra things that are expected of me as a music producer. I sort of did less music to do a YouTube channel to give out advice to my fellow peers in hopes that the experiences that I had could help them. It worked out really damn well. Here we are, 200,000 subscribers later. Everything is looking so good and the audience is built and all that good stuff. People are checking for the videos. Folks are thanking me for the content and they're saying that it's definitely having an impact on them. That's all amazing and grand. However, in order to become a success at this, I thought that I was going to have to sacrifice the music, in which it's exactly what I did. I sacrificed the amount of time that I spent making music. In retrospect, it wasn't a bad idea, but it was an idea that would come back to kind of haunt me in a good way. That is so many contradictions. Let's talk about it though. So in doing all of this stuff that involved mentorship, courses, YouTube videos, content creation, and writing the book, and doing all these things that are not really music directly related, but they're loosely related to music, it put me in a place where I felt like I was giving value and I was helping my peers and I was living a somewhat fulfilled life. That part of it, amazing. However, what I didn't realize was that the more time I spent away from the very thing that made those opportunities even possible, which was music, the more unhappy I would become. And the reason I was unhappy is because I wasn't working on music. Now, I got to a place where I burnt out. Many of you are already familiar with that time period where I had to kind of break things down and build them back up for my business and understand exactly what it is that I want to do. One thing that I knew was a priority, I wanted to make music. I wanted to make beats again, even if that was at the sacrifice of no longer selling beats, even at the sacrifice of no longer selling as many courses because I'm not dedicating my time to creating content for them. I was okay with that because I wanted a place where I could just make some damn beats. I didn't want to worry about no damn funnels and all of this other marketing jar. I don't want to hear about nothing. Just make a beat. That's where my head is at. So that's what I did. But as I did that, a thought came to mind. Maybe I should start streaming because I think people can benefit from not only learning from seeing what I do on screen, but maybe this is an opportunity to really be transparent and not like these 10-minute videos that I do for YouTube. Like really be transparent on a level where it's like, I just ate lunch. I just ate breakfast. It was good. Now I'm ready to cook up. Oh, we got a troll in the building. Yo, head. Like having things that happen in real time allows people to see a more real me. I didn't realize all of that, but I felt like this might have been the direction to go. Initially, I was like many of you in that I had fear getting into the streaming world. I was like, man, you start getting that imposter syndrome. Like, man, what if I'm not as good as my content and where I'm talking? And all these things, all these voices you hear in your head, all these inner trolls that really bring you no value and no solutions to what you actually want to do. So I said, F it. I'm gonna get on this stream and I'm going to just show them my weaknesses, but also damn better believe I'm gonna show my strengths. And I did that. And it slowly but surely started to build up. And folks were like, can you do more of this? Can you do more of this? And I was just doing random live streams. I finally upgraded my computer. I had cameras that were sitting around because I wasn't no longer you. Remember, I was gonna leave YouTube. I wasn't doing YouTube anymore. I was like, what am I really doing now? You know what? I'm just gonna make beats in front of a camera and whoever shows up, shows up. When I tell you that was one of the best decisions that I've made in the last year as a producer building a fan base, as a producer building a community, I created an environment where my community feels like that's an opportunity for us to join each other on one of their favorite TV shows, Curtis King TV's Flocation. So Curtis King TV is like Turner Broadcasting, and then Flocation is a station on there, which is TNT. It's almost like Universal owns Interscope and owns Def Jam and all these different things. Like, that's that even true? I don't know, man. Anyways, in making that decision, I'm telling you, it got me to a place where I'm making more music. It got me to a place where my community that showed up on a consistent basis, I started to memorize names like, yo, I know that name. Okay. Courtney, Cutter Morris, T Sketch, Isaac, okay. AK Sour God, okay. John Starks, okay. Or who else? Like, I started to recognize names and I started to make these folks my moderators. Blake, what's up with you, Blake? I started to make these moderators, and these moderators ended up becoming the pillars of this community. I read one time in a book called Tribes We Need You to Lead Us by Seth Godin that says you do not have a community until your community is communing amongst each other. Until they start connecting with each other, you don't have a community. If you want to build a community, you got to build something strong enough to where even if you don't show up, people are still connecting, collaborating, and working with one another. We created that within the live stream. So for those of you that are worried about, oh man, how do I build a fan base? I got to make clickbaity stuff. No, show up, be you. And part of being you is the technology that you use. You don't got to go crazy like all of this. The reason your friend Curtis went crazy with all of this, because I saw somebody that I got inspired by, which is Stolen Drums. That's one of the freshest, one of the cleanest live streams you will ever see in your damn life. Go check my brother Stolen Drums out. One of the best live streams out there. His live stream helped me to see like, yo, I gotta step up from a technology standpoint what I'm doing here. Because I created an experience where they were enjoying it. I was funny. We were having good conversation back and forth, impromptu moments, things that were like random were happening. It became our inside jokes. We started creating a community emoji, which is the candles. That's a long story about that. But we did that based upon that, but we had to step it up another level. Got on the phone with my brother Stolen Drums. I was like, yo, there's just some things that I can do to improve what I'm doing. He like, yo, you got a good thing going. He said, I think that you are creating something that should be syndicated. Syndicated? You mean like a TV show? He said, yeah. When I started viewing my live stream as a TV show, the entire presentation changed. Now there's an order of events that happen. Even if the audience doesn't always see it or hear it, they know it's coming up. I'll make a beat in 10 minutes using my beat timer. I'll make a full long beat, arrange it, play around with it, do some talking in the intermission. And then like my brother Keon, who's another one of my supporters on there, he'll say, it's rap time, Curtis. And then I start rapping. But that structure came from my experience as being a viewer of TV shows. My favorite TV shows had a structure. My favorite sports shows have a structure. So it's the same thing. As I start to get into this process, I'm always thinking of little extra tweaks and things that I can do that are going to help this become just that much better. And I'm always tweaking on that. So as you approach it, think of it from that point of view. This is your TV show. And even if your TV show is in 720p, you got a cheap webcam, you got a job for webcam, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. People are willing to put up with something that is not as good visual quality if the audio is on point. So if you're gonna put an emphasis anywhere first, put it on the audio, or at least get it to where your screen grab is clean as hell. If you can get a clean screen grab, you get clean audio, and your video is people are willing to put up with that because this is the streaming world. And that's something else too. Become a fan of somebody else's streams before you jump into this. Like, become a legitimate fan. I started watching, my first live stream that I watched on a consistent basis was like PewDiePie when he was doing like the Cyberpunk reveal when that game first came out. Started watching that. I started watching, the homie Stolen Drums. I started watching just anybody that was doing something that was either producer related, but more so outside of the production world, so I can see what can I learn from, say, the gamers that are out here. And I'm telling you, they helped me establish a structure and realize like people are used to doing certain things like giving donations or giving to the super chat or, being acknowledged. So there's certain things that I did that make it a fun thing for my audience to even want to super chat. Like I got it linked up to my nano leafs. Whatever somebody gives to the super chat, they go off like sirens. So they feel like, damn, something I did affected something in that room. I'm really in here with him. So I suggest to you, start looking at your live streams in the very beginning. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. You don't got to go crazy with technology. Keep it simple. Use what you got. But think of these as a TV show. It will change the way that you address things, right? As you start to see things that are happening in real time, technology starts falling apart. Be honest about it. Yo, this is frustrating. This sucks, but I'm gonna fix it. Show the people what it means to be you. Show them what it's like to hang out with you. After a year of streaming, at first it wasn't about the money. It was about, I want to make more beats. And I started making more beats. I started getting better at making beats. Even in my 18th year, I started making better beats because now here I am under the watchful eye and judgmental eye of so many music creators who make music in their own way. And I'm still doing me. I'm still performing at my best. I have to in order to keep them entertained and keep them in there. And that was such tremendous pressure that I wanted. So that made me a better producer. It made my community stronger because here we are connecting with one another in real time. I'm answering questions. We're having moments where it's like, yo, that was kind of goofy, huh? And I can say that. So that transparency created trust. And then also too, when it comes to actually the monetization of it, my YouTube started treating the stream as watch time in real time. So that means my watch time was getting quadrupled from what a regular video would be. Now I'm in here for 7 hours. Can you imagine what that watch time looks like? I have to put a screenshot up. It can get a little crazy. It can get a little crazy. But that amount of time that you're spending with people, you're building something that I feel like is your strongest tool as you start to build out your fan base as a producer. So many people are thinking about ways to get tricky with the marketing. They're thinking of ways to manipulate folks in a way that's going to make them a fan of yours. How about you just show us who you are? Be who you are. Let us go through the goofy phase. Let us go through the bad quality phase. Let us go through it with you, but don't give up. As you start to elevate step by step, let us go with you. As we go with you, you are starting to not build just fans. You're starting to build lifelong supporters who want to see you win. So after a year of streaming, I gotta say that's probably the best decision that I could have ever made for myself as a producer, as an entrepreneur, as somebody that looks at themselves like a pillar within the music producer community. I highly suggest it. I told you in 2019 that if you don't show your face, you'll be forgotten. If you're still hanging on, don't even make it a question. Get your ass in front of some kind of camera, get live, jump into it, have fun with this. Let this be a place, a safe place that you create for yourself and your community, and just cook up and let people see how you get down, and you'll be surprised by how many are connected with you. After a year of this, I can see myself going even further. We're like 340 hours into streaming. I love this game. Okay, music producers, thank you for watching today's video. Make sure that you like, subscribe, or leave a comment on this video if there's something that resonated with you. If you have questions specifically about streaming, I'll do OBS videos and things like that soon, but I felt like it was important to do an overview and to just have your expectations up in terms of what you can expect. This is a fun game, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. In this life, you will not be full of life until you decide to live life to its fullest. Once again, it's Curtis King of Curtis King TV. Have a good one.
Look up, Nazi. Say cheese.